Am I audible, everyone? If I'm audible, please type yes. I hope, yeah, great. All right. So today we are going to continue further. Today we will first look into what is basically the drainage system of India. All right. So previous year question papers में देखा है, they have asked couple of questions from the river side segment. तो रिवर वाले सेगमेंट को भी आज हम कवर करेंगे. इफ यू थिंक दैट द वॉइस इज अ बिट लो, ट्राई टू इंक्रीज योर volume to the maximum. It may be possible because the voice may be low. All right, let me share the screen with you all first. All right, can you all see the iPad screen on your respective computers? All right, great. ठीक है. So let's continue today. ठीक है. Yeah, so we are going to talk about the drainage system of India. Before going ahead, let me tell you. Oh, sorry. Yes, Sandeep, I will refrain from writing on the edges. Thank you for reminding me again. I will refrain from writing on the edges. Let me again share the screen. So today there may be some kind of technical glitch. God forbid it does not happen in future. All right. So let's begin. So we are discussing today the river system of India, or you can call it as the drainage system of India. All right. So we are doing the drainage system. All right, so water is there mentioned in your syllabus, and in water they are going to primarily focus upon the drainage. कुछ आपको ग्लेशियर्स के नाम पता होने चाहिए, कुछ लेक्स के नाम पता होने चाहिए. So I will make sure that you will be given this map of important lakes of India and important rivers and important glaciers. ठीक है, तो we are left with glacier river section. उसके बाद में सॉइल कल हम मैप्स करेंगे कुछ, और सैटरडे से सॉइल आपका विवेक सर रिसोर्सेज में इंक्लूड करके आपका रिसोर्सेज ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी वाला पोर्शन स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. Alright, so let us begin the drainage system of India. So before going ahead, before explaining you the rivers of India, before we explain the rivers of India to you, we are going to understand some important terms related to drainage system. इन टर्म्स के ऊपर भी क्वेश्चंस आए हुए हैं. सो दे हैव आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द टर्म्स एज वेल. सो सबसे पहला टर्म आता है ड्रेनेज. द फर्स्ट एंड इंपॉर्टेंट टर्म इन द ड्रेनेज सिस्टम इज कॉल्ड ड्रेनेज. व्हाट इज ड्रेनेज? Drainage is nothing but it is the flow of water through a well defined channel. Drainage is nothing but it is a flow of water through what? Through well defined channel. Through well-defined channel. So a river is a drainage. So you use the word drainage for rivers particularly, because you know that the rivers have a well-defined path. All right, so the rivers, they are referred to as the drainage because the water through the rivers flow in a well-defined path. Now, a river may not be an alone river. A river may not be alone, and there may be a channel of rivers. There may be a network of different rivers. All right, network of tributaries and distributaries. Tributaries and distributaries along with the main river. This collection of tributaries and distributaries of the main river, this is known as drainage system. This is known as drainage system. So we have already made acquaintance with two important terms in this chapter, that is the drainage system of India. The first is drainage. Drainage is nothing but it is the flow of water through a well-defined channel. So that means the word drainage is associated with river. Then you come across the term that is known as drainage system. Drainage system is nothing but it is a network of tributaries, distributaries of the main river. These three things put together is referred to as the drainage system. Then in this drainage system, you will find sometimes the word known as catchment area. You will often come across the words such as catchment area. What is a catchment area? So catchment area is nothing but it is the area from where a river or its tributaries or its distributaries take up water. So catchment area is nothing but it is the area from where a river, or you can say river system, it obtains its water. It obtains its water. This is basically known as the catchment area. So catchment area is nothing but it is the area from where water is collected by the river. Now you come across the term such as river basin, or you can call it as watershed. Okay? Are these three terms, drainage basin and catchment area, clear to you all? If it is clear, please type yes. Okay? They might ask you this kind of question, that the area from where a river obtains its water, it is known as watershed, it is known as basin, it is known as catchment area, it is known as none of the above. Answer will be catchment area. So you need to have a little bit idea about these terms. So we have done catchment area, we have looked into drainage system. This is the third term, this is the second term. All right, this is the first term, drainage system and catchment area. Now we are looking into the fourth term, and the fourth term is basically called as river basin or watershed. So if we look at river basin is nothing but the catchment area of I am coming to river basin. Bhupinder, wait karo. River basin is nothing but it is the catchment area. It is the catchment area of very large rivers. जो बड़ी बड़ी रिवर्स होती हैं उनका जो कैचमेंट एरिया होता है उस एरिया को हम बोल देते हैं रिवर बेसिन. एंड वाटरशेड इज द कैचमेंट एरिया ऑफ स्मॉलर रिवर्स. कैचमेंट एरिया ऑफ स्मॉलर रिवर्स, it is known as watershed. So watershed, catchment area and river basin, ये तीनों एक ही चीज होती हैं. Catchment area is the general term for any water body that receives its water from. So catchment area is the area from where any water body receives its water from. Second number पे आता है आपका catchment area के बाद the second thing is river basin. When you talk about the catchment area of very large river, that is known as river basin. And when you talk about the catchment area of smaller rivers, that is known as watershed. Now you must heard in your economics, in your planning, that India has taken to something known as the watershed development plan. Integrated, have you heard this term? Integrated watershed development program. Have you heard about this term? Integrated watershed development program. So इसमें जो ये watershed है, watershed is also taken up as a basic unit of planning. ये नोट करके लिख लेना अपने साथ, that sometimes watershed is considered as the basic unit of planning. Watershed is nothing but it is the area. All right. Is there some name for catchment? No, Sarpreet, you do not have the name for the catchment area of lakes. You normally call it catchment area, but for rivers large rivers, you have river basin, and for smaller rivers, you have watershed. So in India, we also consider watershed as the basic unit of planning. How to develop an area? So you talk about development of the entire watershed, because one area which is fed by one watershed is integrated in all its activities, and you develop that area, it will result into development of the entire economy of this region. Okay? Next, there is a term called drainage basin. Next is the term called drainage basin. River basin और drainage basin में बहुत अंतर है. River basin is nothing but it is the catchment area of large river. But river drainage basin is nothing but it is the area drained. It is the area drained by river, its tributaries and its distributaries. So suppose karo, there is a river flowing like this. It has two tributaries and then it branch into two distributaries. Then the entire area that is drained by this river system, this area is known as the drainage basin. So drainage basin is the total area under influence. So drainage basin is the total area under influence of rivers, their tributaries and their distributaries. It is called drainage basin. So what is the difference between a river basin and a drainage basin? River basin is the catchment area of large rivers, that is from where the river receives its water. And drainage basin is the entire region which is under the influence of river system. It may be possible that the water may be going to this area. It may be possible that water is coming from this area. It may be possible यहाँ पे डैम बना के इस पूरे region को आपने irrigate कर दिया. So area under the influence of river, its tributaries and its distributaries is called drainage basin. And the area from where a river receives its water, it is known as river basin. So river basin and drainage basin difference. Is it clear to all of you? All right. So then why river is not called? River is called drainage. You simply call a river a normal term drainage. Then there is river basin, catchment area. Then there is drainage basin, the area under influence, the total area under influence. River is called, all right, river, its tributaries and its distributaries, unke under jitna bhi area effect hota hai, that is known as the drainage basin. So now we are going to talk about the drainage system of India. I have given you the important terms. We first began with understanding what is drainage. Then we began with understanding what is drainage system. Then we looked upon catchment area. In catchment area, we talked about two types of catchment area, river basin and watershed. And then we talked about the term that is drainage basin. Now we are going to talk about the drainage system of India. River system of India, very important to understand. It should be at your fingertips. Yes, good Darshan, you can say that. You can say that. Now, drainage system of India. You can divide the drainage system of India into two parts. You can divide the drainage system of India into two parts. The first part is called the Himalayan drainage system. The Himalayan drainage system, or you can say the northern drainage system. The northern drainage system. And the second one you will call it as the peninsular India drainage system. It is the peninsular drainage system. So there are two drainage systems in India. All the rivers in India, they can be broadly classified into either the drainage system which is located in the north or the drainage system which is located in the south in the peninsular region. All right, so that means that the Himalayan drainage or the northern drainage system, it consists of rivers of Himalayas, rivers, their tributaries and their distributaries, particularly of rivers which are related with Himalayas. which have their source in the Himalayas. These rivers, their tributaries and their distributaries, they form the northern drainage system. And then in the southern peninsular India, you will find the drainage system which is of the rivers which are located in peninsular India. In peninsular India. So like for example, if you talk about India, let us assume this is India. So Tropic of Cancer जहां से पास होता है उसके ऊपर की जो रिवर सिस्टम्स हैं दे आर नोन एज द हिमालयन ड्रेनेज सिस्टम, और उसके नीचे जो ये रीजन है इसकी जो ड्रेनेज सिस्टम है दैट इज नोन एज द पेनिनसुलर ड्रेनेज सिस्टम, that is known as the peninsular drainage system. I hope it is clear to all of you. The two type of drainage systems in India, that is rivers of North India which are originating from Himalayas, and rivers of peninsular India which have their source in the Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, or the mountainous region of Central India, the Satpuras, Vindhyachals. All right, now let's go ahead. So let's first talk about the Himalayan drainage system. So we are going to first talk about the Himalayan drainage system. All right. Himalayan drainage system, or you can call it the drainage system of northern India. So we are going to talk about the rivers that are important from the northern India point of view. So this Himalayan drainage, it is basically consisting of three rivers, three main rivers. What are these three main rivers? It is Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. These are the three rivers that make up the Himalayan drainage. These rivers and their tributaries, they make up the northern drainage system that is known as Himalayan drainage system. This river system is perennial. This river system is perennial, or this drainage system is perennial. That is, rivers have water throughout the year. During the monsoon and summer, there is water due to melting of ice, and during winters, due to western disturbances, the river continuously receives water. Because these rivers are perennial, the erosional action of these rivers is very high. The erosional action of these river is high. That is, this river go for cutting off valleys in Himalayas. Cutting off valleys. So this river system is contemporary, or you can say it is latest river system of India. Contemporary, or you can say it is the latest river system of India. If you consider the peninsular river system, the peninsular river system is old because it was there when the peninsular part was existing. Himalayas have developed very recently. Like for example, the Shivaliks, which are the lowest Himalayas, they have developed some 65 million years before present and finished building some 25 million years before present. जो आपका middle Himalayas हैं, they formed somewhere around 70 to 80 to 90 million years before present, और हिमाद्री भी लगभग इसी टाइम पे फॉर्म हुआ है. वहीं पे अगर आप पेनिनसुलर प्लेटो की बात करो, पेनिनसुलर प्लेटो is billions of years old. So the river system of Himalayas is a recent phenomena, or it is the latest river system in Indian subcontinent. Peninsular river system is old. It was existing long before Himalayas came into existence. So the rivers in this Himalayan system, it is having very high kinetic energy because the rivers flow from very high heights to the plain area. And when they are flowing through the high heights, they have high kinetic energy. And because of this kinetic energy of the water of these rivers, the erosional action of the water of this river is very high. In the upper areas where cutting is taking place, you will find you will find various geographical features such as V-shaped valleys. There will be V-shaped valleys. क्या होता है basically? Think about this way. Let me show you through a diagram. This is a block of, this is, hold on. Yeah, let's come back. So suppose karo water is coming on this area, the water will start spilling. जब water चलता है तो अपने साथ erosion करता है. So this will create a kind of dip here. When more water will come, this will form further dip. Then more water will come, it will cut and it will form further deep valleys. Like these, you will find V-shaped valleys in the Himalayas. The water is located at very high heights. Water is located at very high heights. When water flow, it cuts the rock. When it cuts the rock, it results into formation of V-shaped valleys in the Himalayas. It leads to formation of V-shaped valleys in the Himalayas. Is this point clear? So you will find the geographical features associated with young river systems such as the V-shaped valleys. You will find gorges. You will find gorges. Gorges or V-shaped valleys में अंतर देखो. Gorges are like this. This is what a gorge looks like. This is what a gorge looks like. Okay? So river is flowing like this. This is water. All right. So you will find that gorge has parallel walls. Gorge has parallel walls. Whereas V-shaped valleys are like this and the river is flowing in this segment. So gorges, V-shaped valleys, they are the characteristic features of the rivers which are in their youth stage, that is, which are young. Is this point clear, everyone? Can you see the difference between V-shaped valleys and gorges? Gorges are parallel. Gorges have parallel walls और फिर उसके बीच में से river flow करती है. V-shaped valleys में the river valley is in the kind of V-shape. These are associated with very young rivers. These are associated with very young rivers. Now we are going to talk further about the this system of rivers. Okay. So now ये जो Himalayan rivers हैं, जो Himalayan system है, यहाँ पे मैं आपको एक river के बारे में explicitly बताऊंगा. In the Himalayan river system, there is one river and the name of the river is, let us say, blank. Let me leave it to you. It is blank. It is also known as the Sorrow of Bihar. Can you tell me what river is known as Sorrow of Bihar? Very good. नहीं गंगा. अरे सीरत गंगा नहीं. दामोदर भी गलत है. Kosi is the correct answer. Kosi is known as the Sorrow of Bihar. कोसी एक ऐसी रिवर है which is antecedent river. कोसी is called antecedent river. ये याद रखना, factual information है. You will have to by heart it. Kosi is known as antecedent river because Kosi was there before Himalayas were formed. Kosi was there before Himalayas were formed, and that is why Kosi is known as the antecedent river. It is known as the Sorrow of Bihar. It is known as Sorrow of Bihar because this river is very nasty. This river frequently changes its course. Suppose करो रिवर से 10 किलोमीटर दूर किसी ने गांव बसा लिया, तो ये रिवर इतनी नास्टी है, इतनी शैतान है कि ये जो है अपना रास्ता बदल लेती है. Alright? Getting my point? So this is a naughty river. It is known for changing its course. अभी संजय रावत और संजय राउत and कंगना रनौत का एक इशू हुआ था. Do you know this thing? So naughty का another word क्या है? All right, चलो, it was on a lighter note. Yes, चलिए ठीक है. Okay, so I mean, see how calling Kangana Ranaut as Haramkhor by Sanjay Rao, it is really disgrace on the face of a politician, and everybody turned blind eye to it because he was a politician. Am I right? When the politicians do not give respect, how would you think about common men giving respect to the female gender? Yesterday, it is really painful to see what happened at Hathras. And the response, and there are allegations that this lady was cremated by the police personnel at 2:30 a.m. in the night. I mean, this is disgusting. Cremation at night is not even allowed in Hinduism, and they cremated her in the night. And it was a case of rape and murder. So I am totally, and yes, that's right. The family was house arrested. चलिए कोई बात नहीं, चलता रहता है. I mean, I don't know when sometimes I really feel insecure in, you know, what's going to be the future. I mean, it's really, let's hope for the best. चलिए कोई नहीं, ठीक है, आप लोग मेहनत करो. We want you to be officers which we can count upon. See, I don't know whether I'll be ending up into bureaucracy or I'll just continue with this line of profession. I'm turned blind eye to it. But you people are striving really very hard. Tomorrow you become something. Do not forget that you are there to, you know, work for the welfare of some people who need some kind of protection. You should. So this is a disgrace for Indian bureaucracy that they form a nexus. This is known as Neta Lala Babu nexus. है ना? Avoid it. चलिए. चलो ठीक है. Thank you, Sarpreet. I'll certainly watch it today. चलिए, let's go ahead. So Himalayan river, this is Kosi. It is known as the sorrow of Bihar because this river frequently changes its course and flood those areas which are heavily populated. This river is an antecedent river, that is, it was existing there even before Himalayas were formed. Now, this was just a factual information important from your examination point of view. So now, if we talk about the origin of Himalayan system of rivers, it is believed that the Himalayan system of rivers, it originated from an ancient river. Which was very old and very mighty river. All right, it was a mighty river. It was having tremendous amount of flow of water. So originally the Himalayan drainage system, it originated from an ancient river. Can you tell me what was the name of the ancient river? Ravinder Kaur, I'll help you with it. You just clear the paper. After that, I'll help you with that. No, Tethys, no, Indus, no. It is known as शिवालिक. ये माना जाता है कि आज जहां पे गंगा, ब्रह्मपुत्र और इंदस है, पहले ये तीनों एक ही रिवर के पार्ट होते थे और वो बहुत ही बड़ी रिवर थी. उस रिवर का नाम था शिवालिक, या इसको हम बोलते हैं इंडो ब्रह्मा. दिस रिवर इज रेफर्ड टू एज इंडो ब्रह्मा रिवर. इट एक्जिस्टेड even before history was created. It existed before human beings could document anything. So there was a huge, tremendous river, and the name of that river was Indo-Brahma, or you can call it Shivalik River. Because of tectonic shifting, this river changed and branched into three rivers. So this Shivalik River, so let us say if this is India, it was believed that the Shivalik River was flowing in this direction. It was flowing from east to west. All right, this is the Shivalik River. It was emptying in the Gulf of Sindh. जहाँ पे आज Indus River एम्प्टी होती है, उसमें ये शिवालिक या इंडो ब्रह्मा एम्प्टी होती थी. But because of the change in the topography, because of the change in topography, what happened this river, ये वाला जो हमारा एरिया है, ये एरिया अपलिफ्ट हो गए, this area became tilting like this. ये एरिया बीच में से ऊपर उठ गया and it started tilting this way. Because of this change in the topography of this region, this Shivalik river or Indo-Brahma, it broke down into three different systems. The one system became the Indus, the second system became the Ganga, and the third system became the Brahmaputra. So Indus continued flowing towards the Gulf of Sindh, all right. But क्योंकि ये एरिया ऊपर उठ गया, उसकी वजह से some part of this river started moving through the plains of India in the form of Ganga river, and some part of this river started flowing towards China and then into eastern India. This became Brahmaputra. So the three rivers of the northern Indian Himalayan river system, it emerged from one single river, and that is known as the Shivalik or Indo-Brahma. It is only anticipated. There is as such no geographical evidence. देखो geographical evidences हैं, but ये confirm नहीं है. It is just a theory. All right. So the three rivers of Himalayan system, they emerged from one single river called Shivalik, and the three rivers that form are Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. So now we have to look into the three river system individually. Let us first look at the Indus system. Indus system. All right. Chaliye. Indus system, if we look at the Indus system has the largest river basin in the world. Remember this thing, Indus system has the largest river basin in the world. That is to say that the region from where the river Indus receives its water, Indus and its tributaries, the area from where Indus and its tributaries receive water, that area is called the river basin of Indus river system. So Indus system is the largest river basin in the world. That is to say that the total area from where Indus and its tributaries receive water from, it is the largest in the world. इसकी कितनी वैल्यू है? It is 3,21,289 square kilometer. This is the river basin of Indus, and out of this river basin, India has approximately 1/3. India has approximately 1/3 river basin, 1,65,000 square kilometer. So India has half of the river basin of river Indus. Out of 3,21,289 square kilometer, India has 1,65,000 square kilometer of river basin of river Indus or Indus system. All right. Now, if we talk about the length of river Indus, what is the length of river Indus? The length of river Indus is 2,880 kilometers, and out of this 2,880 kilometers, 1,114 kilometers the river flows in India. Out of the total length of river Indus, which is 2,880, 1,114 kilometers of length of this river is in Parampreet. This is abhi we are only talking about this river Indus. इसमें अगर आप झेलम, चेनाब, रावी, ब्यास और सतलुज का इंक्लूड कर देंगे, दिस इंडस सिस्टम इज गोइंग टू हैव द लार्जेस्ट रिवर बेसिन. सिस्टम की बात हो रही है परमप्रीत. Is it clear? So we are talking about 6 rivers taken together. Now, if we look at the origin of river Indus, the origin of river Indus is from a glacier in Tibetan Plateau. It is originating from a glacier in Tibetan Plateau, and this glacier is known as Bhokar Chu. Bhokar. Bhokar Chu is the name of the glacier from where the river Indus is emerging from the Tibetan Plateau, and this Bhokar Chu glacier is located in the Kailash range of mountains. It is located in the Kailash range of mountains. The glacier from where river Indus is emerging, that is Bhokar Chu glaciers, located in the Tibetan Plateau. All right, so it is located in the Tibetan Plateau. Over there is a Kailash range of mountains. There is a Kailash range of mountains from where this Tibetan, this Bhokar Chu glacier say this Indus is emerging. All right. Can someone please cross check once what is the total river basin area of river Indus? I am actually having some kind of suspicion about this data. क्या तो ये मैंने गलत नोट हो गया या फिर मैंने अपडेट नहीं किया? Meghna, river basin of all the tributaries. All right, ठीक है. All right. ओके, चलो ठीक है, मैं फिर भी एक बार मैं इसे क्रॉस चेक कर लूंगा. चलिए आगे चलते हैं. Now in Tibet, so this river flows in Tibet before entering into India, and this river in Tibet, it is known as Singhi Khamban. Singhi Khamban, ये याद रखना. Singhi Khamban or Singhi Khambab, whatever you want to call it. All right, Singhi Khamban is the name. Is the name of river Indus in, all right, it is the name of river Indus in Tibet. In Tibet, this river is known as Singhi Khamban. Can you tell me which river is known as Sangpo? Can you tell me which river is known as Sangpo? Sangpo. Very good. Brahmaputra. That's right. Brahmaputra in Tibet and China, it is known as Sangpo. In Indus River in Indus River in you can say Tibet, it is known as Singhi Khamban. Then this river enters into India, and in India it flows only through one region, that is known as Leh. Leh district of Ladakh UT, Ladakh Union Territory का जो Leh district है, वहां से this river flows. So river Indus flows in India only in the Leh region of the country. After flowing through Leh region, so Tibet say it enters into Leh, and then river Indus from Leh enter into Pakistan. It enter into Pakistan near Chiller, and this Chiller region is located in the region called Dardistan. This region is known as Dardistan. So river Indus enters from India into Pakistan at a point called Chiller, near Chiller, and this region where this place Chiller is located, this region is known as Dardistan. All right, this river is known as Dardistan. Okay? Now you have to remember the name of the tributaries. You have to remember the name of the river Indus tributaries, so you can see the right bank tributaries. Those, so suppose this is the direction of flow of river Indus. तो जो इसके right hands, so when it is flowing, तो जो इसके right hand side पे इसको join करते हैं, those are known as the right bank tributaries. They are known as right bank tributaries. So the important right bank tributaries of river Indus, you will have to remember the name, and the same will be given in your sheet. It consists of, no Amit, it is not name of the district, it is the name of place. Navdeep, Dardistan is a region in India-Pakistan border where Dardic language is used. That is why it is known as Dardistan. All right, Dardic people are living in that area. Alright, Dardik, D-A-R-D-I-C, Dardik people जहाँ रहते हैं, that area is known as Dardistan region, which is located at India-Pakistan border in Gilgit-Baltistan area. So वहाँ से this river enter into Pakistan. Alright, so the place where it entered into Pakistan, it is known as Chillar, C-H-I-L-L-A-R, Chillar. Alright, all this information is extracted from your NCRTs. We are not going beyond that. Otherwise, it will become way too difficult for us to cover. All right. So those rivers that join the river Indus on its right-hand side, they are known as the right bank tributaries. Important right bank tributaries include Shyok River, Hunza, Hunza. Hunza. Then it is Gilgit. Gilgit is also a name of a river. Gilgit. It includes Swat. It includes Kunar. It includes Kabul. Alright, Kabul और इनके ऊपर तो यूपीएससी में भी सवाल पूछा गया. Kunar, Kabul, Kurram, Golam and Zob. Kurram, Gomal and Zob. Z-H-O-B, Zob. These are the important right bank tributaries of river Indus. These are the important right bank tributaries of river Indus. That is, Indus के right hand side आकर ये मिलते हैं. All right, so Shyok, then it is Nubra is there. Yes, Vikram, that's correct. Nubra, N-U-B-R-A, Nubra. Gomal, G-O-M-A-L, Gomal, G-O-M-A-L, Golam, and Zob, Z-H-O-B, Zob. ठीक है? All right. So these are the important right bank tributaries. यहाँ पे Nubra भी आप लिख सकते हैं. N-U-B-R-A, Nubra. Nubra meets Shyok meets Indus. ठीक है? Now, if you talk about the important left bank tributaries, all right, left bank tributaries, इसमें आपकी पंचनाद आ जाती हैं. ठीक है? फिर भी let's have a look at it. Zanskar, Z-A-N-S-K-A-R, Zanskar is the left bank tributary. Suru is there. Jhelum is there. Jhelum, Chenab is there. Then Ravi is there. Byas is there. Satluj is there. All right. Ghaggar, Hakra is there. These are the important rivers. Zanskar या Zaskar, whatever you want to call it, it's both one and the same thing. So the left-hand tributaries, they include Zaskar, Suru, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas, Satluj. Then there is another river, Son. Then there is Hakra, H-A-K-R, Hakra river. These are the important left-bank tributaries of river Indus. याद रखिएगा, Indus water treaty के 60 साल पूरे हो गए हैं और इसके ऊपर आपसे सवाल आना possible है. All right. Next, now there is a concept of Panchnath. Panchnath are the 5 prominent rivers which are the tributaries of river Indus. The Panchnath consists of Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas, and Satluj. These 5 rivers are the prominent rivers of the river Indus, prominent tributaries of river Indus, and that is basically known as the Panchnath river system. All right, Panchnath. Now, if we talk about Jhelum, all right, so थोड़ा सा Jhelum इन पांचों नदियों के बारे में भी आपको पता होना चाहिए because they are the prominent rivers of the Indus system. Jhelum, can you tell me Jhelum emerges from which country? India, China, Nepal, Pakistan. Jhelum. From which country does Jhelum emerge? In which country? अभिजीत, पाकिस्तान नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि ये इंडिया में लोकेटेड है. Alright, China, Nepal भी गलत है, China भी गलत है, तिब्बत भी गलत है. India is the answer. Very good. Jhelum emerges from India. Alright, Jhelum emerges in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. And in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, there is a place which is known as the Verinag Spring. All right, there is a place which is known as Verinag Spring. from the Verinag spring, the river Jhelum emerges. All right. And then it flows through. Can you tell me which river? Can you tell me which river flows through Srinagar? Which river flows through Srinagar? Very good. No, it is Jhelum. Very good. After emerging from the Verinag springs, the river Jhelum enter into Srinagar. All right, it enter into Srinagar. Then in Srinagar, it gets connected with the Wular Lake. Wular Lake. All right. It gets connected with Wular Lake. So this is Jhelum. Jhelum emerges in India in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The place is spring. Spring is the hot water emerging from the underground area. So Verinag spring is the area from where river Jhelum is emerging. Then it flows through Jammu and Kashmir, Union Territory, it enters into Srinagar. Then it enters into Wular Lake, and then finally it then enters into Pakistan side. Then second is Chenab. Chenab. Now Chenab, if we talk about Chenab, Chenab is the largest tributary of Indus. Remember this thing? Chenab jo hai, it is not Jhelum. Chenab is the largest tributary of river Indus. And it is made up of two streams. Chenab is formed by two streams. The name of the two streams are Chandra and Bhaga. Chandra, there is one Chandra stream, there is another Bhaga stream. So Chandra Bhag, दोनों मिलके Chenab बनाते हैं, and therefore it is also known as Chandrabhag. Chenab is also known by the name as Chandrabhag. Right? So Chenab is the largest tributary of river Indus. It is formed by two streams joining together. One of the stream is Chandra, the second is Bhaga, and Chandra meet Bhaga at a place which is known as Tandi, T-A-N-D-I, Tandi. Tandi is the name of the place जहां पे चंद्रा और भागा मीट करके आपको चंद्र भाग बना के देते हैं या फिर चेनाब बना के देते हैं. All right, this Tandi is located slightly before Kilong in Himachal Pradesh. So at a place called Tandi in Himachal Pradesh, Chandra stream and Bhaga stream, they join and they form the river that is known as Chenab. All right. Now next is your Ravi. जो Ravi river है, Ravi river, it emerges in which country? China, Pakistan, India, Nepal. Ravi कौन से देश में emerge करती है? That is right, correct. Ravi emerges from Rohtang Pass in Kullu Hills. All right, Ravi emerges. You can say that Ravi emerges near Rohtang Pass. Near Rohtang Pass in the Kullu Hills. In the Kullu Hills, Rohtang Pass in the Kullu Hills. All right, and then what it does, it enters. It then meet Chenab river near a place called Sarai Sidhu. So Ravi, then it flows through Himachal Pradesh, and then near a place called Sarai Sidhu, it merges with Chenab. It merges with Chenab. So Chenab और Ravi एक दूसरे के साथ merge कर जाती हैं सराय सिद्धू में, and then they flow through the Chamba Valley. And then they flow through the Chamba Valley. All right, so this is about Ravi. Ravi emerges from Rohtang Pass in Himachal Pradesh in the Kullu Hills. Then near Sarai Sidhu, it merges with Chenab, and then it flows through Chamba Valley in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Now talking about Byas. Bias also emerges near Rohtang Pass, and the place where it emerges, it is known as Bias Kund. So Bias emerges from Bias Kund. All right, Bias emerges from Bias Kund near Rohtang Pass. It flows through the Kullu Valley and meet River Satluj at what place? Can you tell me? It flows through Kullu Valley and then it merges with River Satluj. Very good, very good. Satluj. It merges with River Satluj at Harike. At Harike. All right. Can you name the canal that emerges from the Harike barrage? Harike barrage से निकलने वाली कैनाल का नाम बताइए. Very important canal. Very good. IGC, Indira Gandhi Canal. Indira Gandhi Canal emerges from the Harike barrage slightly before the river Ravi and Satluj merges together. All right. Then next is river Chenab. Sorry, not Chenab, Satluj. Satluj. Can you tell me which country Satluj emerges from? India, China, Pakistan? Very good. It emerges in China or Tibet. Satluj emerges from China, or you can call it Tibet. All right. The place where it emerged is Rakas Lake. Rakas Lake. Rakas Lake. So the river Satluj emerges from Rakas Lake, and Rakas Lake is located near the Mansarovar. Near Mansarovar in Tibet in China. It is in Tibet. River Satluj is known as Langchen Khamman. Langchen Khamman. Langchen Khamman. Khamman basically is the word for mouth. Langchen is the word for horse. So it is horse mouth. जैसे इंदस को हम क्या बोलते थे? सिंगी खम्बन. Singhi means lion and Khamban means mouth. So lion mouth is Indus. Langchen Khamban, that is horse mouth, is the river Satluj. Horse mouth is the river Satluj. Can you tell me through what pass river Satluj entered into India? Good. River Satluj enter into India through the pass that is known as Shipkila. Shipkila. La means pass. All right. So Shipkila is the name of the pass through which the river Satluj enter into India. River Satluj enter into India through the pass called Shipkila. Now river Indus is also, Satluj is also called an antecedent river. Satluj is another antecedent river. I have told you what is antecedent river. Antecedent river means the river which has been existing before even the Himalayas came up. So दो antecedent rivers मैंने आपको बता दें Himalayan system की. One is Kosi and second is Satluj. So this is all information about the Indus river. Now we are going to talk about the Ganga river system. Now let us talk about the Ganga river system. But before this, let's have a look at the I'll give you this basically PPT as well. So if you look at the Indus River is emerging from this region, all right, Bokharchu Glacier in Tibet. Then it flows from Bokharchu in the direction towards the northwest. It enters into India in the Leh area and then it entered into Pakistan. All right, this is river Indus. The prominent the prominent tributaries of Indus, you can see it is Jhelum, it is Chenab, it is Ravi, it is Byas, it is Satluj. And these 5 rivers are called Panchnad. This Panchnad meets the river Indus at a place in Pakistan, and this place is called Mithankot. Mithankot. So in Pakistan, there is a place where these 5 rivers merge together. So there is Jhelum and Chenab, they merge together. Then Chenab and Ravi merge together. Then Byas and Satluj merge together. And this Satluj and then these Chenab, they merge together. And then finally, they meet the river Indus at Mithankot. So the Panchnad, all right? Panchnad, it meets the river Indus at the place in Pakistan called Mithankot. Very important point to remember. If you look at the tributaries of river Indus, you will see that this is the glaciers of Kailash range, which is known as Bokar-Chu. This is known as Bokar-Chu. From Bokar-Chu, river Indus is emerging. The prominent rivers of river Indus, it includes Shyok, which is made up of 2 rivers, Shyok and Nubra. Shyok, Gilgit, Swat, Kunar, Kabul. All right. Then there is Gomal, Zob. They are the Khurram. They are the important right bank tributaries of river Indus. If you look at the left bank tributaries of river Indus, you will see Zaskar is there. You can see Jhelum is there. You will see Chenab is there. Ravi is there. Satluj is there. Byas is there. These are the important left bank tributaries. All right. So once or twice you will read through. All these names will be set in your memory. You will not forget them. All right. So this is the important river system of North India, which is known as the river Indus. All right. So let's now go ahead and talk about the Ganga river system. So we are going to talk about the Ganga river system. All right. Let's have a look at the Ganga river system. Now Ganga, can you tell me where does Ganga emerges from? So do we need to learn the course of these? नहीं, समीक्षा नहीं. अगर मान लो कहीं पे बनाना भी पड़े तो एक रफ सा देख लो, है ना? झेलम, चेनाब, रावी, ब्यास, सतलुज का नहीं याद करना, इंदस का थोड़ा सा रफ सा पता होना चाहिए. All right, चलिए. So Ganga emerges from Tibet is wrong. Yes, Mega, that's correct. Ganga emerges from the glacier known as Gangotri. So Ganga emerges from the Gangotri glacier. Ganga emerges from the Gangotri glacier, which is located near a place called Gomukh. Which is located near a place called Gomukh, and this Gomukh is located in Uttarkashi district of UK. It is located in Uttarkashi district of Uttarakhand. So the river Ganga emerges from Gangotri glacier, all right, which is located at a place called Gomukh, which is located in the Uttarkashi district of place called a state called Uttarakhand. Before Ganga, before forming Ganga, it is known as Bhagirathi. Abhi Ganga naam nahi hai. It emerges from the Gangotri glacier with the name called Bhagirathi. All right. Now this river Bhagirathi then flows towards south, and then at Devprayag, it meets with another river. Can you tell me what is the other name of the river that Bhagirathi meet to form Ganga? Ganga is formed of 2 rivers. One is Bhagirathi. Yes, that is called Alaknanda. Very good. So at Devprayag, Bhagirathi meets the river called Alaknanda. And from Devprayag onwards, this river which is made up of Bhagirathi and Alaknanda, it is known as the river Ganga. So Ganga emerges from Gangotri Glacier at Gaumukh in Uttarkashi district as the river Bhagirathi. Then it flows towards south, and then at Devprayag it meets the river Alaknanda, and after that it is called Ganga. Now, before we move ahead, Alaknanda के बारे में भी थोड़ा सा पता होना चाहिए. Alaknanda, it originates from Satopat Glacier. Satopat Glacier. So river Ganga is receiving its water from two important glaciers. One is the Gangotri Glacier, जहाँ से भागीरथी emerge होती है, and second Alaknanda Satopat Glacier, which is located near Badrinath. All right, which is located near Badrinath, again in Uttarakhand, which is located near Badrinath, again in Uttarakhand. All right, Alaknanda is made up of two streams. Alaknanda is made up of two streams, and the name of the two streams are Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga. Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga. This Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga, they form together, they merge together and form Alaknanda at the place called Vishnu Prayag. At the place called Vishnu Prayag. Vishnu Prayag के बाद में Alaknanda meets Bhagirathi at Dev Prayag and Ganga is formed. So इसको इस तरीके से समझिए. This is Ganga. Say let's say this is Bhagirathi. This is this Gangotri Glacier, or you can say Bhagirathi emerges from here. Then Alaknanda, it comes and merge together at this place. This place is called Devprayag. All right, this is Alaknanda. Alaknanda is made up of two streams. One is Dhauli and second is Vishnu Ganga. Dhauli and Vishnu Ganga merges together, and this place is called Vishnu Prayag. After Vishnu Prayag, Alaknanda flows south and meets Bhagirathi at Devprayag, and from here onwards, this river will be called Ganga. All right? All right. Okay? Yes, Vishwdeep, but we have no other alternative as of now. Now there is another river. All right? Now there is another river which is known as Pindar. And Pindar, okay, I think that we have missed one more. चलो मैं ये डायग्राम फिर बना देता हूँ, don't worry. So this is Bhagirathi. Bhagirathi meet, this is Dev. So this is, let's say this is Devprayag. Devprayag में Bhagirathi will be meeting Alaknanda. Alaknanda, Devprayag से ऊपर there is one more Prayag, and that is known as Karna Prayag. All right. So there is Karna Prayag here. Karna Prayag. और Karna Prayag, actually it's way too, थोड़ा बड़ा बनाना पड़ेगा मेरे को. Hold on. Yeah, एक सेकंड मैं आपको I'll just show you through the slide. Hold on. So if you look at the river Ganga, this is a better way to look at it. All right. See, this is the image visible to all of you? This is the image showing all the important prayags. Is it clear? Is it visible? Great. So if you look at Gangotri से Bhagirathi emerge हो रही है. From Gangotri, Bhagirathi is emerging. Bhagirathi is meeting Alaknanda at Devprayag. At Devprayag, Bhagirathi meets Alaknanda. Then if you move from Devprayag along with Alaknanda, you will come across another Prayag called Rudraprayag. At Rudraprayag, Alaknanda meets the river called Mandakini. Mandakini emerges from Kedarnath. All right? Mandakini emerges from Kedarnath. Now, रुद्रप्रयाग से आप अलकनंदा के साथ थोड़ा सा ऊपर जाओगे, आपको यहाँ पे कर्ण प्रयाग मिलेगा. कर्ण प्रयाग पे अलकनंदा जो रिवर है उसको मिलती है पिंडार गंगा. Pindar Ganga meets Alaknanda at Karnaprayag. Then from Karnaprayag, if you move along river Alaknanda towards north, you will come across Nandaprayag. At Nandaprayag, Alaknanda meets the river Nandakini. And then from Nandaprayag, if you move further north, then you will come to the place called Vishnu Prayag. At Vishnu Prayag, the river Alaknanda, all right, Vishnu Ganga and Dholi Ganga, they merge together to give rise to Alaknanda. They might ask you a question about north to south location of Prayag. सबसे ऊपर है विष्णु प्रयाग, विष्णु प्रयाग के नीचे नंद प्रयाग, नंद प्रयाग के नीचे कर्ण प्रयाग, कर्ण प्रयाग के नीचे रुद्र प्रयाग, रुद्र प्रयाग के नीचे देव प्रयाग, and then there is something called Prayagraj. What is Prayagraj? Prayagraj is the place where Yamuna meets the river Ganga, and the former name of Prayagraj is known as Allahabad. Allahabad. यहाँ पे एक जगह है जिसको बोलते हैं संगम. All right. So Sangam is the place where the river Ganga is meeting the river Yamuna. All right. So Ganga is made up of multiple streams. There is Yamuna, so there is Bhagirathi and Alagnanda. Alagnanda is made up of multiple streams. It is made up of Dholi Ganga and Vishnu Ganga. And Alagnanda ki tributaries bhi hain. Like for example, there is Nandakini, there is Pindar Ganga, there is Mandakini. All right? Yes, Mandir, that's right. Chaliye. So Prayagraj is the place where the important rivers come and meet, which is called Sangam. Prayagraj former name was, as we call it, Prayagraj former name was Allahabad. Okay? Chaliye. Let's go ahead now. Now Ganga, it flows maximum through which state of India? Can you tell me which state of India is having the largest flow of river Ganga? कौन से स्टेट में river Ganga maximum flow करती है? Very good. The river Ganga flows maximum in the state of Uttar Pradesh. उत्तर प्रदेश में river Ganga 1450 किलोमीटर तक ट्रेवल करती है. उत्तर प्रदेश के बाद में it enters into, so it originates from Uttarakhand, it enters into Uttar Pradesh. In Uttar Pradesh, it flows for 1450 kilometers. Then it enters into Bihar. Then it enters into Bihar. In Bihar, it travels for 445 kilometers. Then it enters into West Bengal. In West Bengal, it travels for another 520 kilometers. All right. और उत्तराखंड में river Ganga की length है 110 kilometers. If you sum it up, this will become the total length of river Ganga. All right. So in Uttarakhand, it travels for 110 kilometers. Then in Uttar Pradesh, it travels for 1450 kilometers. Then in Bihar, it travels for 445 kilometers. And in West Bengal, it travels for 520 kilometers. So what is the total length of river Ganga? Sum it up quickly. All right. So it is 110. All right, 1450, it is 445 and it is 520. 2525 kilometers long. So 2525 is the total length of river Ganga in India. Great. Chaliye, let's go ahead. It is the largest river basin in India. Ravinder, you don't have to exactly remember the kilometer, but ये पता होना चाहिए कि maximum river Ganga travels in Uttar Pradesh, then it is West Bengal, then it is Bihar, and lastly Uttarakhand. If we talk about the length of river Ganga, it is maximum in Uttar Pradesh. Second is West Bengal, third is Bihar, and fourth is Uttarakhand. Now, जो river Ganga है, it is the largest river basin of India. River Ganga is the largest river basin of India. Remember this thing. Okay? Now, important left bank tributaries of river Ganga consist of Ram Ganga, Gomati, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi, and Mahananda. So let's look at the tributaries of river Ganga. Let's again come back to the slide. So if we look at the tributaries of river Ganga, you will see that Ganga is flowing in this direction. So we talk about the major left bank tributaries जो river गंगा के left hand side पे आके मिलती हैं. It is Gomati, it is Ghagra, it is Gandak, it is Kosi. All right, Kosi, ठीक है, Tista. All right, and in Bangladesh, Brahmaputra. So the important left bank tributaries are Ramganga, Gomati, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi, Mahananda. All right, okay. So these are the left bank tributaries. If we talk about the major right bank tributaries, the major right bank tributaries are river Yamuna and Son. Son meets river Ganga in Bihar, and Yamuna meets river Ganga at Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. These are the two major right bank tributaries of river Ganga. All right, ये बाकी जो river है ना, जैसे चंबल, then Prabhati is there, Betwa, Chambal, Banas, Prabhati, Betwa, Ken, they all are the tributaries of river Yamuna. And Yamuna is a tributary of river Ganga, meeting river Ganga at Prayagraj. All right, now Yamuna जो है, if we talk about Yamuna, Yamuna emerges from Yamunotri Glacier. All right, जो ये पहले वाली जो स्लाइड है इसमें आप देख सकते हैं, यमुना emerges from Yamunotri Glacier located in the state of Uttarakhand. If we talk about the major tributaries of river Yamuna, the major tributaries of river Yamuna are Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken. All right, these are the major tributaries of river Yamuna. बस ये important चीज आपको याद रखनी है. All right, चलिए, let's go ahead now. Rest all other information about the Ganga system is there in your sheet. You just have to give it a reading. All right, now there is a distributary of Ganga in there's a distributary of river Ganga in West Bengal. In West Bengal, the river Ganga has a distributary, and this distributary is known as the Sorrow of Bengal. Can you tell me what is the name of that distributary? The distributary, very good, Damodar. In West Bengal, a branch of river Ganga diverges away from river Ganga, which is known as Damodar River. Damodar River is nothing but it is also called the Sorrow of Ganga. Sorrow of Bengal. All right. Now, can you tell me, Ayodhya is located on the bank of what river? Which river bank Ayodhya is located? राम मंदिर की वजह से अयोध्या बहुत प्रोमिनेंट जगह बन जाती है. वेरी गुड तेजिंदर, दैट्स ग्रेट. अरे अमित कहाँ गग्गर पहुंचा दे. सरयू, वेरी गुड द्रौपदी. सरयू, Ayodhya is located on the banks of river Saryu. Remember this thing. All right, Saryu जो river है, it emerges from Milan Glacier in Nepal, Himalayas. It emerges from Milan Glacier. Saryu emerges from Milan Glacier in Nepal, Himalayas. All right, और वहाँ पे नेपाल के अंदर सरयू को गौरी गंगा बोलते हैं. All right, गौरी गंगा. ठीक है, फिर गौरी गंगा सरयू जो है ये घाघरा में मीट करके फाइनली इट मर्जेस विद गंगा. ऑलराइट, चलिए, सो दिस इज अबाउट द गंगा रिवर. इफ यू लुक एट यमुना इज emerging from Yamunotri. ऑलराइट, देन इट मीट्स चंबल, it meets Ken, it meets Betwa. Alright, and finally it meets Ganga at Prayagraj and then becomes Ganga and move towards the Bay of Bengal. Now let's talk about the Brahmaputra river. Alright, now we are talking about Brahmaputra river. Yes, Tista is there. Tista is not a direct tributary. Alright, see यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे, let me show you. This is Tista. Tista is not a direct tributary. Tista merges with Brahmaputra and then it fuses with Ganga. Tista is not a direct tributary. Draupadi, Tista is not direct tributary, and that's a great, that's great, Sarpreet. That's right. शायद सरयू रिवर अयोध्या के थ्रू फ्लो करती है और अयोध्या राम जन्मभूमि है, और क्योंकि सरयू रिवर नेपाल से आती है तो तभी नेपाल के पीएम ओली साहब ने राम को नेपाली बोला. Yes, Abhijit, that's right. That's right. It branches into multiple branches in West Bengal. All right, Hooghly is another distributary. Damodar is another distributary. That's right. चलिए अब ब्रह्मपुत्र रिवर सिस्टम देखेंगे एक बार. So जो ब्रह्मपुत्र रिवर है, it is emerging again at a place very close to the emergence of the Satluj river, Indus river. It emerges from the place which is known as, it became way too large, hold on. It emerges, the river Brahmaputra, it emerges from Chema Yungdung. All right, it emerges from Chema Yungdung glacier of Kailash range located in Tibet near Mansarovar Lake. So the name of the glacier is Chema Yungdung glacier. Chema Yungdung glacier is the place from where Brahmaputra is emerging. Bokarchu is the place from where Indus is emerging. All right, and this is the emergence point of Satluj. So they are very closely located and they are emerging from the Kailash range. All right, these three rivers, they emerge from the Kailash range. In Tibet, this river is known by the name as Sangpo. In Tibet, you call Brahmaputra river as Sangpo. All right, the other name of Brahmaputra river is called Yarlung, Y-A-R-L-U-N-G. All right, ठीक है, Yarlung, Y-A-R-L-U-N-G, Yarlung, which is Brahmaputra, another name of Sangpo. All right, in Tibet. In Tibet, this river Brahmaputra travels for somewhere around 1200 kilometers and then it enters into India through a place which is located at one of the highest peaks called Nanga Parbat. All right, sorry, not Nanga Parbat, pardon me, it is Namcha Barwa. Namcha Barwa. Namcha Barwa is the peak. Namcha Barwa is the peak. All right, uske paas mein gorge hai. All right, so suppose this is Namcha Barwa, this is the gorge. From Namcha Barwa, it entered into India. Brahmaputra enter into the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh at through a gorge which is formed very close to the mountain which is known as Namcha Barwa. ठीक है? In Arunachal Pradesh में this river Brahmaputra is known by the name Dihang. D-I-H-A-N-G. Dihang is the name of the river Brahmaputra in Arunachal Pradesh. If you talk about the important tributaries of river Brahmaputra are Dibang, all right, Dibang, Lohit, Subansiri. These are the important tributaries of river. All right, these are the important tributaries of river Brahmaputra. Dibang, Lohit, Subansiri. Dibang is also known by the name as Sikang. Either you call it Sikang or you call it Dibang, it's one and the same thing. So Dibang, Sikang, Lohit, Subansiri, they are the tributaries of river called Dihang. And Dihang is the name of the river Brahmaputra in Arunachal Pradesh. All right, is this point clear? ठीक है, इसके अलावा भी there are various other important tributaries such as there is Budi Dihing, there is Dhansari, there is Dibang, Lohit, we already talk about it. Then there is Subansiri, there is Kameng, there is Manas and Sankosh. The name is given in your sheet, you just have to remember them. If you can, it's fine. If you cannot, elimination के through हो जाएगा, कोई don't worry about it. Now this river Tista, all right, Tista river, it emerges from the Indian state of Sikkim, then it flows through Bangladesh and it merges with the river Brahmaputra. So Tista is another important tributary of river Brahmaputra and it merges with river Brahmaputra in its right bank. ठीक है? This is known as Yamuna and from there it finally merges with Padma or river Ganga and empties into the Bay of Bengal. So Brahmaputra if we talk about Brahmaputra in the state in Tibet or China, it is known as Sangpo or Yarlung. All right. Then in Arunachal Pradesh, Brahmaputra is called Dihang. Then in Bangladesh, Brahmaputra is called Jamuna or Yamuna. And finally, it meets Ganga, and Ganga in Bangladesh is called Padma. All right, Ganga in Bangladesh is called Padma. इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस में आपको इंडिया बांग्लादेश के बीच में तीसरा वाटर डिस्प्यूट करवाया होगा. ऑल राइट, चलिए. नाउ देयर इज वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट रिवराइन आइलैंड located in Brahmaputra. Can you tell me what is the name of the world's largest riverine island? Very good, Karun. It is Majoli. Majauli. Majoli is the name of the island which is located in the river Brahmaputra, which is the largest island, riverine island of the world. Perfectly correct. All right, let's go ahead. Let's have a look at the tributaries of the river Brahmaputra. All right, so you will see these tributaries are there. If you talk about the right bank tributaries, जो river Brahmaputra को right hand side में आके meet करती हैं, Subansiri is there, Manas is there, Teesta is there, Kameng is there, Biki is there, Raidak is there, Jaldhaka is there. So at least ये ऊपर की चार आपको पता होनी चाहिए. You can very easily relate. Teesta, Manas, Kameng, Subansiri, ये नाम बहुत common है. All right. Then left bank there is Dibak, there is Lohit, there is Dhansiri, and there is Kolom. ये ऊपर के तीन नाम बहुत common है. You can easily eliminate. जो MCQs होते हैं उसमें MCQs होते हैं उसके अंदर it is not easy to find the correct answer. It is easy to identify the wrong and eliminate. So elimination के through ये questions आपके बन जाएंगे. Deepti is asking where is Majoli? Majoli is located in the state of Assam. All right, Majoli Island is located in the state of Assam. Majoli has been made, in fact, a district. Majoli is now a district. All right, so these are the important tributaries. So if you look at here, all right, Dipti, this is Majoli located in the state of Assam. This is river Brahmaputra, and this रेड कलर का जो आपको आइलैंड दिख रहा है रिवर के बीचों बीच, दिस इज मजोली आइलैंड. इट इज द वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट आइलैंड इन अ रिवर. इट इज द वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट आइलैंड इन द रिवर व्हिच इज नोन एज मजोली आइलैंड. विद दिस वी कम टू द पेनिनसुलर रिवर्स ऑफ द कंट्री. सो लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट द पेनिनसुलर रिवर्स. द ड्रेनेज सिस्टम ऑफ द पेनिनसुलर रिवर, इट इज एक्चुअली older than the Himalayan drainage. All right, it is basically older than the Himalayan drainage. And if you look at this solid line, which is running through north and south, this line is called the water divide. You know that the peninsular rivers, they either end up into the Arabian Sea or they end up into the Bay of Bengal. All right, everyone. So these rivers, that is the peninsular rivers, they either end up in Arabian Sea or they end up in Bay of Bengal. Then the elevated area that prevent the rivers ending into Arabian Sea to move towards Bay of Bengal, this elevated region को अगर हम line बनाए, so that line is called water divide. This line is water divide. This is the water divide of Bay of Bengal rivers and Arabian Sea rivers. All right, it is an elevated region. You know, water always flow from height to low, so water will not be able to cross this elevated area. So this is known as the water divide of India. All right, is this point clear to all of you? All right. Now, if we talk about the important rivers of it's the peninsular India, you will realize that the first important river that we are going to talk about is Mahanadi. All right, Mahanadi. Mahanadi emerges from the state of Chhattisgarh. Mahanadi, it flows from, all right, Mahanadi. This is Mahanadi. Mahanadi, it flows through two states. One is Chhattisgarh and second is Odisha. These are the two important states through which Mahanadi is flowing. Mahanadi is 851 kilometers long. Mahanadi is 851 kilometers long. All right. It emerges near Raipur and the place where it emerges is known as Sihawa. Sihawa is the place from where river Mahanadi is emerging. All right, it is 851 kilometers. Okay, then it enters into Odisha, and this is the basic flow of the river Mahanadi. Now we talk about the river Godavari. Can you tell me what river is known as Dakshin Ganga? Can you tell me which river is known as Dakshin Ganga? Which river is known as Dakshin Ganga? Very good, Godavari. Perfect. Dakshin Ganga is Godavari. The name of the river Godavari, another name of the river Godavari is Dakshin Ganga. Good. Can you tell me what is the largest river of, which is the largest river of India? Which is the largest river in India? Ganga. Very good. Which is the largest river in southern India? Which is the largest river in southern India? Very good, Godavari. So Godavari is Dakshin Ganga, and it is also the largest river in southern India. All right. Second largest river in southern India, batao. Which is the second largest river in southern India? Very good, Jyoti. It's Krishna. ठीक है, Krishna के ऊपर हम बाद में आएंगे. If we talk about if we talk about Godavari, the river Godavari emerges from it emerges from Nasik. Just a minute. Yeah. So this river Godavari, it emerges from Nasik, then it flows through the peninsular India for a length of 1,465 kilometers. So Godavari is 1,465 kilometers. All right. This is also known as Dakshin Ganga. And if we talk about the important tributaries of this river Dakshin Ganga, that is Godavari, you will find out that these rivers are the important tributaries of river Godavari. These include there is Purna, Penganga, Vardha, Vainganga, Pranhita. All right, Indravati, Sabari, Saleru, and Kothagudem. Sorry, Kothagudem is a place. So Saleru, Sabari, Indravati, Pranhita, Vainganga, Vardha, Penganga, and Purna. They are the important tributaries, the important left bank tributaries of river Godavari. If you talk about the important right bank tributaries of river Godavari, it is Manjari. All right, it is Manjari that is important for you to learn the name. All right, so right bank tributary is Manjari. Now, if it not Manjari, sorry, it's Manjara, Mangara, Manjara. Dr. Samiksha, there is no shortcut to learn them. It is only that कि आपको peninsular India में Godavari के names पता होने चाहिए tributaries से, because it's my personal experience in many of the like MCQs, they generally end up asking these questions about Godavari. In northern, there is no way out. Ganga, Brahmaputra and Indus, ये तीनों के tributaries आपको पता होनी चाहिए और यमुना के tributaries भी आपको पता होनी चाहिए. In peninsular India, you just need to know the important tributaries of river Godavari. ठीक है? इसके अलावा you do not need to remember anything else. Now, if we talk about the river Krishna, all right, if we talk about the river Krishna, Krishna has a length of 1,401 kilometers. All right, that makes it the second largest river of peninsular India after Godavari. Godavari is 1,465 kilometers. Krishna is 1,401 kilometers long. All right, important tributaries are Koyna, Bhima, and Tungabhadra. Tungabhadra and Bhima, they are on your map. All right, Koyna, this is Koyna. So Koyna, Bhima, and Tungabhadra, they are the important tributaries of river Krishna to remember from examination point of view. It flows through 3 states. Krishna flows through 3 states. Maharashtra, ये देखो यहाँ से emerge होती है. It emerges in Maharashtra. But Maharashtra में बिल्कुल थोड़ी सी flow करती है. Maharashtra से emerge होती है. Then it flows through Karnataka and then finally it flows through Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, not Tamil Nadu. It does not flow through Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. 3 states it flows through. All right. Then next river is River Kaveri. Tributaries of Krishna, dekh lo. Sorry, this is Bhima. This is Tungabhadra. Then number 1, Koyna, Varna, Panchganga, Dudhganga, Ghatprabha, and Malprabha. Just for the sake of, yes, Mahabaleshwar. Very good. Very good. Prince, Krishna emerges from Mahabaleshwar in Maharashtra. That's right. And if we talk about the states through which Godavari passes through the states, Maharashtra. All right, Godavari ke states dekh lo aap, Maharashtra is there. Then next after Maharashtra, it does not enter into Karnataka. After Maharashtra, it is, what state is this? This is Andhra Pradesh. It does not go to Chhattisgarh. Andhra Pradesh is there. Yes, Andhra Pradesh. Maharashtra. What are the states? Telangana, right? So Maharashtra, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh. These are the 3 states through which Godavari flows. Okay. Correct. All right. Krishna flows through 3 states: Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. ठीक है, तेलंगाना भी आएगा इसमें. चलिए नेक्स्ट जो रिवर है कावेरी जो रिवर है, इट एमर्जेस फ्रॉम ब्रह्मगिरी हिल्स. Kaveri emerges from Brahmagiri hills. All right. It is the 3rd largest river of the southern peninsular India with 1,341 kilometers length. It is originating in Karnataka. Yes, that's right. Parampreet, you are correct. It originates in Karnataka. Kaveri River, it originates in Karnataka. In the Brahmagiri hills, it has length of 1,341 kilometers. इसकी important tributaries की अगर हम बात करें, if we talk about the important tributaries of river Kaveri, it consists of Kabini, Bhavani, and Amravati. All right, Kabini, Amravati, and Bhavani. These are the 3 important tributaries of river Kaveri. Okay, Kaveri. This is Kaveri. Then if we talk about the important rivers, yes, Sandeep, these all maps will be there in the PDF that will be distributed to you today. Now next, if we talk about Narmada and Tapi are the important rivers that flow towards Arabian Sea. जो river Narmada है, it originates from Amarkantak Plateau in west. So let me come to that map once. Hold on. Yeah. So if you look at this map, this river Narmada, this is Narmada river. Narmada is emerging from Amarkantak Plateau. It is emerging from Amarkantak Plateau in Madhya Pradesh, and then it enters into the state of Gujarat. All right. So Narmada originates in Amarkantak Plateau through the rift valleys between Vindhyas and Satpuras. ऊपर विंध्याचल पर्वत हैं, नीचे सतपुड़ा हैं, इनके बीच में ये रिवर फ्लो करती है नर्मदा from Amarkantak Plateau towards I will tell you, hold on. I'll correct it. Mandeep, I will correct it. Let me cross check once. Maybe because 1,341 kilometer was a bit absurd for me. All right, I will correct it. Length of river Kaveri. Correct कर लो उसको. The length of river Kaveri is 805 kilometers, not 1,341, 805 kilometers. बाकी I guess जो कावेरी गोदावरी और कृष्णा है, that is correct. 1465 and 1401. चलिए. So this river Narmada, it flows through The Rift Valley of Vindhyachals in the north and Satpuras in the south. इनके बीच में flow करते हुए it enters into the Bay of Bengal. Sardar Sarovar Dam is located on what river? Quickly tell me, Sardar Sarovar Dam is located on what river? Very good, Narmada. All right. Then there is second important river called Tapi. All right. There is second important river called Tapi, which is another important river that flows into the Arabian Sea. Tapi emerges from Betul Plateau. ठीक है कैप्टन अमेरिका, 2 मिनट रुक जाओ, रिफ्ट वैली बताता हूं मैं आपको. तापी emerges from Betul Plateau in Madhya Pradesh, and then it enters into you can say then it enters into what is known as the Arabian Sea and Gujarat. ठीक है. अब रिफ्ट वैली समझ लो आप पहले. What is a rift valley? देखो, रिफ्ट वैली is formed, think about this way, कि ये एक block of land है. This is a block of land. It is having fractures here in this manner. It is having fractures. Crack है इसके अंदर. So this is the piece of land. It is having crack. Now this block of land moves this way, and this block of land starts moving in the opposite direction. तो क्या होगा? What will happen? It will result into formation of a depressed area like this. ये इस तरफ चल पड़ा, ये इस तरफ चल पड़ा, तो ये बीच वाला जो ब्लॉक है ये नीचे आ जाएगा. This is basically called as Rift Valley. This is called as Rift Valley. All right. This is Rift Valley. RIFT VALLEY. Rift Valley. ये जो ऊपर उठा हुआ पहाड़ वाला एरिया है, this is known as Horst. This is known as Horst, and this valley, Rift Valley, is known as Graben. 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 All right. बहुत टेक्निकल है, छोड़ दो इतना. बस इतना याद रखना, ये जो बीच वाला एरिया सबसाइड हुआ है, this area is known as the Rift Valley. So river Narmada flows through this Rift Valley. नॉर्थ में विंध्याचल्स हैं, विंध्याचल्स या विंध्यंस, और साउथ में सतपुड़ा है, और इन दोनों के बीच में जो रिफ्ट वैली है उसमें नर्मदा चलती है. दिस इज नर्मदा. इज दिस पॉइंट क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू? That's right, Sandeep. Thank you. All right. So I hope that, Captain, what was your question then? Sir, this rift valley is created due to tectonic activities. Yes, due to movement. So whenever the land blocks move, that is known as tectonic movement. This is known as tectonic movement. So tectonic movement की वजह से rift valleys are created, and in the rift valleys you will find rivers like you can say Narmada. All right. So I think that it's quite information loaded. Thank you everyone for the figures. You also try to draw similar kind of figures in your exams. They are highly appreciated. All right. All right. It's personal experience बताता हूँ. So it was my first attempt in UPSC, and I was writing my mains. So just pattern बदला ही था, and people were busy writing छोटा answer for because of the paucity of time. And I was having 4 colors in my finger. It was red pencil color, brown and green pencil color, and I was using pencil to draw the diagrams, and I was coloring the diagram. Because of this reason, out of 25 questions, I attempted only 12 questions because I was busy making diagrams. So do not get infatuated with diagrams. जितना फ्री हैंड डायग्राम बनाओगे उतना बढ़िया है. वहां पे बिल्कुल टाइम वेस्ट मत करो ड्राइंग में, using scale, using different colors. Remember that. All right, Meghna, it is Graben and Horst, Horst, Horst and Graben topography. All right, so I think that we have completed this drainage section here. Tomorrow we are going to talk about important maps. We will talk about 4-5 different maps, और हर एक मैप की इंपॉर्टेंट जो पर्टिकुलर प्लेसेस हैं, जैसे स्ट्रेट्स हो गई, गल्फ हो गए, इन सब के बारे में हम बात करेंगे. We will spend time tomorrow only on maps. On Saturday you will start with your human geography. अगर बीच में मुझे किसी दिन कुछ लगा कि मेरे को आप लोगों के साथ और इंटरेक्ट करके ये चीजें करनी है, we are going to discuss them even in between the map. No, Mandeep, you will not get MCQs. मैप नहीं आएगा MCQs के अंदर, बट व्हाट दे डू इज मैप के थ्रू आप चीजें याद कर लोगे तो MCQs आसान हो जाएगा. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल दे माइट आस्क यू व्हाट इज which two water bodies are connected by Strait of Dardanelles, which two water bodies are connected by Strait of Bosphorus, which two water bodies are connected by the Strait of Hormuz. All right, these kind of questions they might ask you. Saprit sir, these topics are of geography means. आपका ये topic geography means में cover होंगे. All right, Saprit sir. Oceanography में basically थोड़ा सा कल हम oceanography और important water currents, ocean currents का मैप देख लेते हैं. थोड़ा सा oceanography का जो portion है वो देख लेंगे. बाकी गल्फ, स्ट्रेट्स, वाटर बॉडीज, ओशंस, उनका मैप करेंगे हम. ऑलराइट, ठीक है संदीप. इन माय सेक्शन जितना आपको एनसीईआरटी से आपके कोर्स के साथ रिक्वायर्ड था वो मैंने आपको इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया है. दैट इज परफेक्टली फाइन. हाँ, माइनिंग एंड ओर मैप विल बी कवर्ड बाय विवेक सर. अमित, ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी वाला पोर्शन विवेक सर करेंगे. यस, रिवर्स कंप्लीटेड. रिवर्स कंप्लीट हो गए यहाँ पे हमारे. सो विल मीट टुमारो एंड वी विल डिस्कस इंपॉर्टेंट मैप्स. एंड अगर वो अभी रिसेंटली ब्लास्ट हुआ है तो अभिजीत, ओनली इफ इट इज रिसेंट. चलिए, यस नवदीप, गॉट द न्यूज. हाँ, यस, यू कैन मेक फ्लो चार्ट्स. ऑलराइट, हाँ तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएगा अभिजीत. कैप्टन, you can make flow charts, you can make diagrammatic representations. They are always appreciated in civil services examination. All right, so I'll close the session here now. We are going to meet tomorrow again at 5:15. See you all at 5:15 tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Good night. All right. Okay, bye. Let me close the session here now.